Hi there, I'm Mike.
Hi, Mike. I'm Larry. I'm the owner of Granny Scott's Pie
Well,
Shop.
good to meet you, Larry.
Nice to meet you.
What's it like to be the owner of a bakery and pie store?
You know, it's just the best thing in the world. The people that come in are just the nicest in the world. We get to make things that are just wonderful for people to eat. And the holidays coming up, we're going to have things that are going to be sitting on families' tables.
Wow, this is going to be the greatest gig in the world, to be the owner of a bakery and pie shop. I think I'd eat up all the profits, so it wouldn't work so well for me.
Sometimes it's tough. You know, with the economy the way it is, we just, make a little bit here and there and keep on plugging on.
What's the history of this store, and how did you get the opportunity to buy it?
Granny Scott's Pie Shop was started about 16 years ago by a chef named Scott Meyerson. And he had a vision of providing handmade gourmet pies to this part of Lakewood. And so he had it for 4 years and found out that he wanted to do something different and went back to being a chef. And I found this for sale and thought, I love pie. And so we bought this and just been working with it for 12 years now.
Well, I imagine Thanksgiving is probably one of your busier times of the year, right?
This is a very busy time of the year. When we bought it 10 days before Thanksgiving. So we worked a lot of hours trying to just get things going and fulfill all the orders that people wanted. So we will be working as many hours as I can get the high school and college age kids to work, and we'll be here just putting out as many pies as we can.
Besides the pies and the baked goods, it looks like you've got a lot of other things here on the menu.
We make fudge from scratch. We do soup and sandwiches. We have a lot of people that come in for lunch to have a sandwich, a cup of soup. All our meals have a piece of pie and drink with them. We do some cupcakes, we make some sweetbreads. We make a lot of different things.
Well, rumor has it that you make a mean coconut cream pie here.
Oh, our coconut cream pie is to die for. Great filling, topped with fresh whipping cream. We toast our own coconut. Come on back to the kitchen, I'll show you how we make some things.
Great, excellent.
All right, Mike, before we get started, I'll give you an apron.
All right.
Down here. Keep
Okay.
your clothes a little cleaner.
Okay.
Then we're gonna wash our hands.
Okay, let's go get started.
Okay, so Mike, I've got some flour in here and some of the butter, but we need some shortening.
Okay.
It's one of the ingredients that just makes the pie taste good, just like our grandma would use. So I'm gonna grab some shortening here, and for this batch we're doing, we need 11 pounds of shortening.
Wow.
Up on that scale.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna let you can see everybody's fingers marked, let's just grab some in there.
All right.
We'll make sure our scale's zeroed out and just run that on up to 11
11 pounds, huh?
All right, you're halfway there.
Only halfway, huh? Wow.
This batch of dough will probably make 60, 70 pies, depending on what we're making.
So when you add up all the ingredients on a daily basis, Larry, how many gallons of milk and dozens of eggs and pounds of cherries do you go through in a day?
We go through on a regular week, about 300-400 pies a week. Right now, I probably have 6 bags. I got 400 or 500 pounds of flour in the back. That'll last us right now about a week. Eggs, I never really sit down and figure it out. I just kind of look and see what I need. I keep 3, 4, 5 cases of eggs back there, and milk. We go through lots of milk.
So where do we go now?
Okay, we're going to put this in the flour and butter mixture over here.
Okay.
And there are, I have a lot of customers come in and they talk about their grandmother's dough recipe and how wonderful it was. There's a lot of different philosophies on making dough. People use butter that's refrigerated or use ice water. And I found the biggest thing that people do, they work it and they work it and they work it, and it never comes out right. They've overworked it. When you overwork dough, it gets too tough. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get our hands in here, kind of start working this flour into the fat. We're just going to mix all this in until we get a good mixture. What makes dough flaky is layers of flour and butter and flour and butter, and when it bakes, that butter will boil and that causes a bubble, and that gives you your flakiness. Okay, so now we're going to start just kind of rolling it together.
Okay.
We don't want to knead it too much and squish it, and once we get it to the right point, we're going to add the what we call the wet mixture, which is just a mixture of some eggs and milk and water to help everything stick together.
Last month, Larry, I had a psychic tell me that I would soon be rolling in the dough. I don't know if this is what she had in mind.
She just had the terminology. She didn't know you'd be rolling dough. When we get closer to the holidays, we'll do 3 or 4 batches of this, just one right after another.
I imagine keeping all these ingredients on hand and keeping everything fresh, that's got to be much more expensive than if you were to use all the artificial stuff that everybody else uses.
Oh, I could easily buy canned filling, or even like most of the places, they buy pre-made pies. The holidays, I run out of freezer space and really have to get creative on how to organize that. It would be much easier. There'd be a lot more profit in it, even if you charge less for a factory-made pie.
Sure.
But Granny Scott's is homemade, handmade pies. So now we're going to add the wet mix, and now we're not going to do any more mashing or kneading. We're going to pour this in.
I was going to say it would get real messy if we did.
Yeah. And so this is an important part. So all we're going to do is just put our hands in and just kind of lift this up and just kind of mix it.
So Larry, what is the most satisfying aspect of what you do here?
You know, when I get a customer that comes in that buys a pie, and they might come back and say, that was just like my grandma's, or that was the best thing I've ever had. That means a lot to me.
And what about baking at altitude, Larry? Do you have to adjust some of the recipes for that?
You know, I get questions like that quite a bit, and my answer is, I don't know. I've never baked anywhere but here. I've been a native of Lakewood since I was 5 years old, since before Lakewood was even around. So I don't know what it's like to bake anywhere else than here.
So as much science as there is in terms of the ingredients and measuring and all that, there's a lot of artistic flair that goes into this too.
A little bit, yes. Okay, Mike, we're done with the dough. Let's pull it over here to the dough rolling table.
Okay.
We're going to measure out some of the dough and make some pie crust.
Excellent.
So let's just pull it on over here.
All right.
And we're going to use this little scale. We use the scale so it's consistent. We're just going to pull this over here, and we're going to weigh out about 12 ounces of dough. Kind of roll that into a snowball. We're going to form these into something about the size of a hockey puck. We just want to get all the edges where there's no cracks.
Okay.
Very good. And let's set those aside.
All right.
Now we want to do 2 8-ounce. So take a little bit of dough again. And these are going to be for what we call crimps for your coconut cream pie that you've been talking about. And then again, we're just kind of forming that into a little puck. When we say everything we do is by hand, we have one machine that touches this. And it's this machine right here. This is called a dough sheeter. This machine will help us get the consistency out.
Okay.
And it's going to roll it.
Just drop it in here?
Yes, go ahead and drop it in. This rolling pin's been here for as long as I know. The secret with rolling is you always start at the middle and push out.
Ah, okay.
If you go back and forth, all you're doing is stretching the dough. That's about the right size we want.
Okay.
So now we're going to fold it in half.
Fold it in half.
I'm going to pick it up and lay it in the pie plate. Kind of want to lay it in the middle here.
Lay it in the middle, okay.
There you go. Open it up.
All right. Okay. Try to even it out a little bit.
Yeah. There you go.
Right. Good.
Okay, now we're going to make a crimp. We're going to kind of pick up the dough and kind of fold that extra layer
underneath here.
So we want it sticking up about 3/8 of an inch.
Oh. So this is the actual crust part.
This is the crust part.
So Larry, what was it like growing up in Lakewood and opening a shop here?
You know, Lakewood is, it's been my home since 1961. I went through Lasley Elementary, Alameda Junior that's no longer there. Went to O'Connell Junior the very first year it was open, the old O'Connell. They're not even using that building as a school anymore. And my wife and I both graduated from Alameda High School. So we're both natives, been here for a long time. All right, now Mike, we're gonna go around, and this is called crimping.
Okay.
And we just want to make this edge look a little more decorative. We want it to look handmade. We don't want it to look so perfect that looks factory made.
Uh-huh.
But we don't want it to look bad either, and yours is just going to look fine. Hey, Mike, these we've baked these now for about 45 minutes, and they look pretty good. So now these are called a baked crimp, and we're going to make a coconut cream pie for you, because you've been talking about that all day.
I know.
And I'm going to make a chocolate cream pie.
Okay.
So this is filling that we've already made up and put in the bucket. There's a spoon in there. Go ahead and just grab some out.
Oh.
We want to put that filling in there to where it's just about to the top of the crust.
So what are the ingredients for a coconut cream pie besides coconut?
Okay, coconut cream pie starts with whole milk, sugar, then we heat that up, and we add that hot milk mixture to a mixture of eggs, lots and lots and lots of yolks, some cornstarch. And we're going to step over here to this mixer, and we're going to whip up some whipping cream. We use fresh whipping cream.
So no canned stuff here.
Now, so I'm going to put some fresh whipping cream in here, and start this to whipping. We're just going to add this sugar to the whipping cream. You can see it's starting to thicken up now. It's not just milk. That's good whipping cream. So we're going to turn off the mixer here, pick this up, and we'll take it over to the white table.
All right.
See, and that's another thing. Does it hold up in the whip? That's the good stuff. I get two compliments that I just really revel in. I get people coming in and they say, it's just like my grandma made. The other one I like is, I told everybody I made it. So I figure if it's good enough that you tell people that they made it,
You got to be pretty proud of it
then
to
it's
do
pretty
that.
proud of it. What we're going to do next is just decorate this pie.
Okay.
And if you can do that simple decoration, you can decorate the pies. I just go in circles all the way around this pie, trying to keep it to the outside edge. And it's all the same design.
Covered up.
Just a circle. You're just trying to cover it. A little dollop in the middle.
Great.
Think you can copy that? Very good. Lift it up a little bit off the pie. Oh yeah, looking good. See, that doesn't look bad at all.
All right.
That's a good looking pie. Now, which one's chocolate and which one's coconut? How about if we put some fresh roasted coconut on it?
That works.
Okay, here's some toasted coconut.
Okay.
Since you have gloves on, you can just pinch some and
Okay.
just sprinkle a little bit on there. We're just gonna make some homemade curls out of this block of chocolate. So now we've got a chocolate cream pie and a coconut cream pie.
Perfect.
Those look good. Okay, Mike, we're ready to make some cherry pies.
All right.
So we need this now to weigh 2.5 pounds.
2.5 pounds.
We'll
Okay.
just scoop some of that up in there.
A little heavy.
2 pounds, 8 ounces. Now we're going to do a fold over crust. A double crusted pie or a lattice top pie, a factory can make that. The factory can't do a fold over crust. So I just fold this over so you can just kind of start there.
Okay.
And we want that dough to go clear to the edge of that pie tin.
Okay.
So I'm going to just unfold
Back it up a little bit
back it up
there,
a
yeah.
little bit. Okay, Mike, here's our what we call egg wash, and it's just some mixed up eggs. We're going to just brush the crust. This gives the crust a nice, it browns up nicely. We don't want to paint it. We want it's just going to be highlighted. So
Just
go
sort of
ahead
highlighted. Okay.
and brush that on there. Now let's grab these pies and we're just going to throw them in the oven right now.
Oh, great. So Larry, Granny Scott's has been around for 16 years. You've owned it for 14. What do you see as the future for the store?
You know, I'd like to keep building this up, and I've got grown kids. I've got a 3-year-old grandson that says he's going to work here when he's old enough.
Larry, the holidays are coming up. Thanksgiving's here. Christmas is right around the corner. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. What would you say to somebody in Lakewood that's watching this on TV that's never been down here to Mission Trace and to visit Granny Scott's?
If you're looking for a pie that's like Grandma made or your mom made, and you just don't have the time or the skills to do it, we can do it for you. We can make that pie that can sit on your Thanksgiving, your holiday table, that people will sit there and go, wow, that was a good way to finish a good family meal. All right, Mike.
This is what I've been waiting for, Larry.
Warm cherry pie McGill's ice cream.
Wow. I knew there was a reason why I signed up for this gig.
You can't get much better than this.
This is great.
And you got your coconut cream pie that
I sure
you've been
do.
talking about the whole time, and that's the one you made.
No, I know. It looks
Put a
great.
lot of work in it, so I hope you enjoy it.
Well, this is wonderful.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
All
much.
right, bye.
All right.
All right, we'll see you later.
Hey,
Enjoy
one more
that
thing.
pie.
I just wanted to
Oh, I'm sorry, sir.
well, this was a flavor I liked. Come down to Granny Scott's submission trays to find out for yourself.